Welcome to the SQL training videos. In this video, I am going to discuss about the primary key. So, what is the use of primary key? Constant uniquely identifies the each record in a database table. Primary key must contain a unique values. So, it does not contain a null value. The primary key column cannot contain the null values. So, most tables should have a primary key, and each table can have only one primary key. What is it means that every table has only one primary key, and also it supports the combination of fields also. But we can create the only one primary key on the table. But compared to the unique key, we can generate the combination of fields into the unique key, and also we can separate fields also unique key. Okay, so if you want to create the primary key constant on the table, the syntax for that one is create a table name, and after last we are putting the primary key on the field name. Here this PID is the one primary key. PID is the primary key. It is the integer value, integer field. In that integer field, I am putting the using the primary key keyword is primary key PID. Okay, create a table. If you want to create the primary key and the table, so the syntax for this one is create a table name PID int last name, first name, address, city, and primary key. We are adding the primary key. Go. So go for the structure primary. Here this is in gold color. Here our primary key is the PID. We don't have any drop. Our key name is PID and key name is primary. Now I am trying to inserting the data into this table. Insert into person's PID value. One, comma, last name is C and first name is K, and address is HYD, and city is KPHP. So go for the browse. We have the one field in our table. Now I am editing this field. I am trying to inserting the one more field, and PID is again 1. Now observe the what it is showing. It is showing the duplicate entity of 1 for the primary key. Okay. Now I am here. I am putting the null value. So observe this one. PID it is supporting the 0. Now I am inserting the one more here, one more value using the null. What happens now? So it is showing the error. So 0 for the already 0 is entered. Now I am not putting the any value, and I am trying to inserting here. So what happens now? Error. Have an error in the SQL syntax, right? So this is the use of I am trying to inserting the 1 again. What happens now? So duplicate entity for the primary key. So this is the use of primary key on our table. Primary key is uniquely identifies the each record in a table. For the SQL Server, Oracle, MS Access use this syntax. PID int not null primary key. last name varchar not null. Okay, so in this SQL server or Oracle or MS Access, we are writing the primary key after the field name int primary key. So allow the naming of a primary key constant, and for the defining a primary key constant on the multiple columns, use the following SQL syntax. Now I want the PID and last name, both two fields are combined, and I want the one primary key. At that time we are using this syntax. So creating the table persons 1 PID int not null. You don't want this one, delete this one, last name, first name. Now I want the PID and last name both into the one primary key. Okay, so constant pk underscore person, according to your naming convention, give the primary underscore k pk. I am putting the pk primary key PID comma last name. Now these both two fields are combined, we generated the one primary key constant p underscore k. So now go for the browse structure. So go for the our table persons 1, here structure. So here PID and last name, combination of both two were created the one primary key. Go for the indexes, observe the primary both on the PID and last name. Okay, like this way we are creating the primary key for the combination of both keys. In the example above, there is only one primary key, pk underscore person id. Here p underscore k. However, the value of the primary key made of the two columns. How to set the alter table? So alter table persons add primary key p underscore id, and in the both if you are using for the multiple columns, add constraint, use the constraint keyword. Here constant name, primary key, both two columns. So if you whenever adding the primary key to the alter table, at the time the fields does not contain the data, only we can add the constants. If that one contains the duplicate value, it is violated the rules. How to drop? So alter table person drop primary key, or in the SQL server alter table table name, here drop constraint. So here we are putting the our constraint name. Please subscribe for the more videos.